Hey guys, another tournament of rackets. This time it is Solinco Whiteout 16 by 19 against Yonex Vcore 98 Tour. In theory, the rackets are quite similar to each other. They are towards similar play styles and the ball jumps off the string bed in a similar way. So yeah, let's go into details and highlights of both rackets. So stock to stock form, the differences are quite obvious. The whiteout is much faster and lighter in feel. Vcore 98 Tour is a heavy one of the heaviest from Yonex catalog, next to the Percept 97H, which I also tried. I prefer the Vcore 98 Tour over the Percept 97H. It's just a bit easier to use, and somehow Vcore 98 Tour and the ISO 98 Tour are quite easy to move for me, which on paper should be totally different because, well, the swing wave is quite high, the static wave is quite high, and the balance point is well, more towards the head. So yeah, head heavy balance with high static wave and quite high swing wave is a red flag in theory, but somehow Yonex figured out how to distribute the wave and make it quite easy to use compared to similar rackets like Blade 98, 1820, which also comes in a higher swing wave. Obviously, Vcore 98 Tour is a 16-19 string pattern, but has similar punch and it feels kind of similar in hand. I mean, it feels like a tank. So yeah, I had to customize Whiteout 1619 in stock form. It wouldn't be enough to make it to this round. It would lose to the Prestige MP, which I kind of missed, so we will see how things will go. But at the moment I'm playing with the Whiteout 1619. The specs are quite similar to the Vcore 98 Tour. The static wave is between 340, 345, and balance point. Yeah, I'm playing with a more headlight setup, around 32 centimeters balance point. Vcore 98 Tour, of course, it is a bit more head heavy. Do I feel it that way? Yes and no, because yeah, the wave distribution is quite evenly distributed, I would say. So it's not like dragging my hand down. I even tried the Vcore 98 Tour with leather, and this worked quite well. Shifted the balance point. I'm not usually sensitive to static wave. I'm more sensitive to swing wave and balance point. So yeah, static wave is just the way how to achieve those two for me, but obviously it plays part. It plays part in how smooth the swing is and how the power level can increase or decrease. So yeah, it plays part, but I'm not that sensitive to the changes here. So comparing those two rackets is quite easy because the overall target player is, I would say, the same. It is basically towards blade users that want something different, want something more, want a bit more power, want a bit more spin. The Vcore 98 Tour is much better than the regular Vcore 98, which was unstable in stock form. The Tour is like a tank, so no worries there, no need to add any mass to the head. Just play with the balance point, and so I did with the leather. And boy, from all the rackets I tried, Vcore 98 Tour is the most powerful option. And on top of that, it is one of the most spin-friendly rackets. So this combination is for very aggressive players that can really unload and are looking for some damage, for some chaos. Chaos is a ladder, right? So yeah, Vcore 98 Tour for sure. It is very tempting, and it is even tempting for me as a grinder because it can do amazing things from difficult situations. Like, I don't hit winners that often, my backhand is my better shot, so, and with the Vcore 98 Tour I could actually hit a winner just on demand with my backhand. Forehand, yeah, I struggle a little bit, but it's mainly my mistake and my technique. I think my forehand is a bit flimsy, so I need a bit more help there with control. The whiteout for sure adds a little bit more control. It's like you take the blade, then you have whiteout, then you have Vcore 98 Tour, and then probably Babolat Pure Aero 98. So yeah, that's basically it. The spin goes to the Vcore 98 Tour, the control goes to the Whiteout 1619, and the feel, I would say it depends, because Vcore 98 Tour is much softer, and I think in general Yonex is kinda trying to move back to this era of and in my case Yonex is on AI and DR were the first rackets I tried from Yonex. So those were very great rackets, and I feel like Ezone kinda shifted more towards those pure drives, a bit stiffer, a bit more power, a bit less feel and control. So I think Vcore is trying to fill this gap, fill this emptiness that the Ezone, AI and DR players are feeling. However, it is not an alternative because Vcore in general hits a bit higher above the net, you get more spin, but the Vcore 98 Tour, yeah, gives you the stability and plow through, which all the aggressive players I think will enjoy. So back to the feel, Whiteout 1619 is a bit stiffer, actually one of the stiffest from all the rackets that are left in the tournament, and this is quite alarming, on the edge of my preference, still okay, probably thanks to the foam inside the racket, but I hope that the upcoming Whiteout update will be a bit softer. But that being said, I think because the racket is a bit stiffer in feel, you kinda have a bit more control. You know what the ball is doing with the racket on the string bed, so you have a bit more maybe linear response even. And Vcore 98 Tour, on top of the wide string spacing, the pocketing dwell time is quite big. Therefore, sometimes I was shooting a bit too high. That is taking away some of the confidence, and for grinder it is quite important. So I tried to find the balance with the Vcore 98 Tour. I tried adding 130 strings, which in general helps taming this launch angle and give a bit more control, but the Vcore 98 Tour just couldn't respond to the thicker strings as I wanted to. The feel became a bit boardy, and I still struggled with control. So I knew I am stuck with 125 strings, and from there I just couldn't up the tension to keep both the feel and the control. So it was always something to sacrifice, not that great option to have. That was the main problem with the Vcore 98 Tour that I experienced. Maybe if I had a bit more extreme grip with more natural spin, maybe I would benefit from the Vcore 98 Tour more. But the Whiteout 1619 was just listening to my hand a little bit more, and it is still a spin-oriented racket and with a bit more power than Blade or Radical MP, but maybe because of the feel or stiffness, or maybe the consistent beam thickness, I was just feeling a bit more control, a bit more confidence. So, and the main difference between the Vcore 98 Tour and the Whiteout 1619 is that Whiteout can actually take 130 strings, and this is a game changer for me because I usually enjoy playing with a 1619 rackets that can take 130 gauge of strings. And I even used one of the stiffest strings on the market. I tried it with Solinco Turbite 130. So yeah, and Vcore 98 Tour couldn't take one of the softest thicker strings that I have, which is Signum Pro Firestorm. It is more elastic in feel, and it has more pocketing, more power and more comfort. Vcore 98 Tour couldn't handle it. So to all the users that are playing with the Vcore 98 Tour, I think the best would be to use kinda stiff string, but string it a bit lower. So my recommendation would be to use something like a Turbite 125 or maybe Luxenon Alu Power 125. Those two strings should suit the Vcore 98 Tour perfect. Another string that comes to my head is maybe Yonex Polytool Pro. It is a bit softer, so you shouldn't experience this lack of comfort. You're still actually enhancing the comfort, but somehow Polytool Pro is still a contour-oriented string, so this could work very well in the Vcore 98 Tour. So yeah, Whiteout, more control, similar spin, similar power, similar response. So obviously my pick is the Whiteout 1619. Overall better for my game, and maybe there is a lesson in this. Maybe I enjoy rackets that have constant beam thickness, and almost always I prefer those type of designs. I have better sense of what I am doing with the ball, and yeah, Vcore 98 Tour with a slightly thicker beam is a bit more aggressive, and in my case it is too aggressive, right? So yeah, I guess that's it. But this means Whiteout 1619 is going to the final rounds against Technifiber T-Fight 305, Diadem Elevate Tour and Gravity Pro. Let's see which racket will win it all. Thanks for watching, subscribe and see you soon. Bye bye.